Hello, my name is Emily Morgan. I'm 24 years old and I've been a member of the Presbyterian Church USA for over 10 years. And while that may not seem like a long time to some of you, for me, that's an awfully big chunk of my life. I just finished my second year at Princeton Theological Seminary. I'm looking forward to completing my theological training and becoming eventually an ordained pastor. So what I'm thankful for from the PCUSA, just a few highlights. I'm thankful for the validation and celebration of female ordination. I'm thankful for our witness to the historic Book of Confessions. I'm thankful for our evolving worship. I'm thankful for our theology, which is trying to grapple with 20th and 21st century issues. And I'm thankful that we are focused not only on the biblical text, but on the entire biblical text. I am disappointed in the question that many people keep asking me: how do we get more people like you into the church? And I always get confused when people ask me that, and I finally figured out that when people ask that, they really mean, how can we as a historic institution, as an individual community, reach out and support and bring into our community the emerging and young adults in America today? And along with that comes various preconceived notions and expectations. And what you need to know is that there are some cultural stereotypes of Christianity that have not been my experience, but that people who don't have my own experience of having loving and supportive Christian communities may not realize that the kind of community that they really want can be found within a religious community. So I would be very interested to see people who are willing to ask that question go out and create some authentic relationships with emerging and young adults and really listen to what they have to say. You know, don't put yourself in our shoes, just try to listen to our experience and to what we really want, because I know I can't speak for every emerging and young adult out there, and I certainly can't speak for emerging and young adults who didn't grow up in the church. So the way to get more emerging and young adults into your church is to go out and create authentic relationships with the emerging and young adults in your community, and ask yourself how you can really show God's love to them and how you can act as Christ to them. So the calling, God's calling to the Presbyterian Church USA in the next 5 years, I would really love to see us studying the feminine images of God in the Bible. I would like to see us support individuals and families with special needs, both in worship, caregivers groups, things like that. I would like to hear more silence in worship. I would like to reconceive our theology of marriage to include relationships that are largely unrecognized by the state, and whether those are perhaps gay and lesbian relationships, or young people who can't afford to get married, older people who live in a covenantal relationship but can't get married because one of them will lose their benefits from a previous spouse. There are a lot of relationships out there that are not being recognized by our state, but are true relationships by faithful people. And I would like to see us looking at our theology of marriage and finding out how we can care and support those couples. I would like to see us fully committed to equal ordination and marriage rights for the LGBTQ community, because there is a lot that 10A doesn't do, and I think we need to have a frank discussion about that. I would like to hear us bring out silenced voices. And I would like for everybody to read 2 books. One is A People's History of Christianity by Diana Butler Bass, and the other is called Tribal Church by Carolyn Memmott. She is a Presbyterian pastor. So the last thing the one thing we should be praying for, that is a difficult thing to try and narrow down. What one thing can we as a church be praying for? So I would say that we need to be praying for peace. Peace not only from war, but peace from our own self-criticisms, peace from the violence that our cultural assumptions can make, peace within our own communities from the various conflicts we have, peace to really bring God's presence into our lives the most we can. And I really believe that after we have prayed for peace, we need to go out and be peacemakers. Thank you.